Hello guys and welcome to another vlog at Up Top Dance School on our Patreon page. This week we're going to take a break from talk about the regular topics of Jamaica and dancehall to address the current protest and social unrest that has developed in North America. As a white person in a black culture, I feel it is my responsibility to use my platform to talk to other white people like me about how we can contribute to the cause and help further diminish racism that is happening all over the world. People of color have been oppressed for hundreds of years in all societies, and that oppression has taken different forms, from more extreme ones that happened during the slave trade and are currently happening in Western society, to softer forms that have developed in societies like Eastern Europe but still racist nonetheless. Because of social media and the globalization that is happening in the world, it has become much easier for white people to engage and partake in black cultures from all over the world, while at the same time creating this barrier or insensitivity towards the problem of people of color that are happening in the world. For example, in dancehall, you have a lot of white people who can tell you the latest dance move that is trending in Jamaica, but who cannot tell you anything about Marcus Garvey. You should look that up. A lot of people know who Bogle was and his contribution to the dancehall culture, but they don't really know who Paul Bogle was, the person that Gerard Levy was nicknamed after, who is a national hero of Jamaica. It is very important for us to understand what is happening in the world right now, why is this happening in the world right now, and how we might be unknowingly contributes to racism. Systemic oppression can be something that we as white people easily undervalue just because we never had to deal with it or interact with it at such a scale that people of color have been doing it for so long. Therefore, the best thing we can do right now is to listen to the people who are oppressed and support them in their action in order to fix this up. Just because it doesn't happen to us does not mean we should be indifferent and not help society, especially when we are the people who benefit economically from the cultures that they create. This problem did not appear 1 week ago, but throughout time, all this anger and unjustfulness that happened to people became this cataclysm to what is happening today in the USA and to what has happened in different societies where people of color live. So the fight that we must help right now is not something that has a beginning and an end in the short time span. We as white people must keep fighting alongside people of color in order to be able to eradicate racism. The best thing you can do to help the cause is to educate yourself. Educate yourself about the history of oppression, about how it developed and how it is happening today in society. The second best thing you can do is to understand that you as a white person have received a racist education and that you have been educated to look down on people of color. When you get accustomed to privilege, equality might feel like a threat. When white people become defensive, they state that they have no negative feelings towards people of color. But in 2020, racism is not simply defined by hatred, but by the sum of your perception and presumption towards people of color. This can only be overcome by exercising your empathy, understanding the institutions that oversee this inequality, and realizing that people of color do not receive the same chances as we do. Only by educating yourself can you overcome the racism that was sown into you by society. When people criticize the action and state that this is not the right way to fight racism, try to put yourself in other people's shoes and ask yourself, what would you do? You will come to realize that the method you are thinking of have already been tried to little or no success in the struggle. Understand that you as a white person will never understand their struggle, but that does not mean that you cannot help. But you help by educating yourself first, then calling out racism whenever you see it unfolding in front of your eyes. The problem did not begin 1 week ago, and it will not end with this protest. But with active engagement, we can contribute to eradicating racism in the long run.